Henry, James, and Gordon were miserable. They had been shut up for several days for being naughty and longed to be let out again. At last, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. Sir Topham Hatt then told Percy, Edward, and Thomas that they can go and play on the branch line for a few days. And they ran off happily to find Annie and Clarabelle at the junction. The two coaches were very pleased to see Thomas again. Edward and Percy played with freight cars. But the two engines laughed and went on shunting until the cars were tidily arranged. Next, Edward took some empty freight cars to the quarry. Percy was left alone. He didn't mind that a bit. He liked watching trains and being cheeky to the other engines. And the engines got very cross. After a great deal of shunting, Percy was waiting for the signalman to set the switch so he could get back to the yard. Percy was being rather careless and not paying attention. Edward had warned Percy, but Percy had forgotten to whistle, so the busy signalman forgotten him too. Percy waited and waited. The switch was still against him, so he couldn't move. Then he looked along the main line. He whistled in horror, for rushing straight towards him was Gordon with the express. Percy opened his eyes. Gordon had stopped with Percy's buffers just a few inches from his own. But Percy had begun to move. Percy went straight through Edward's station and was so frightened he went right up and over Gordon's hill without stopping. After that he was tired, but he couldn't stop. He had no driver to shut off steam and apply the brakes. The man in the signal box saw Percy was in trouble, so he kindly threw the switch. Percy puffed wearily onto a nice empty siding, ending with a big bank of earth. He was too tired now to care where he went. Presently, Gordon arrived. Then Gordon helped pull Percy out from the bank. The two engines are now good friends, but Percy is always most careful when he goes out on the main line.